All right, lesson 3, setting a price. So prices rise and fall due to supply and demand, yes, but they also rise and fall due to the cost of materials and the labor that go into this product or service. And that's mainly what we're going to be looking at on the math side of things. So a markup is an additional amount that's added to the costs so that a profit can be made, right? So if you need to buy, or if it's going to cost you $10 to produce an item, you can't sell it for $10. Right? You're not going to make a profit. That's not sustainable. You might need to sell it for $12, maybe 15, maybe 20, depending on those profit margins and how much you're going to mark it up. So the markup is usually a percent of the wholesale price. So first, let's practice a little bit with working with percents. So whenever I deal with a percentage, I need to convert it into a decimal. So I'm going to convert 65% into a decimal. Well, to do that, if I have 65%, right, percent, it's French for 100. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide by 100. Another way of thinking of that is I'm going to move the decimal place over, 1, 2. So I'm going to get 0.65. So 0.65 is the same thing as 65%. But this is the actual number of it. That's what I'm going to be using in my calculations in the math. I can never use percentage as the percent number. Always, always the decimal. So Melanie owns a clothing store. Her standard markup is that 65%. So 65% divided by 100 is going to give us 0.65. That's the number I'm going to have to do. She bought a coat from the wholesaler at $125. So this is a fancy coat. What would the markup be? So the markup is 65% of wholesale price. So I'm going to write that out first. 65% of $125. Okay, well, 65%, I know I need to write that as the decimal. Now, of in math means multiplying. So 0.65 times my 125. And that will give me my percentage markup. And if we just put that into our calculators, 0.65 times 125, that will give us 81.25. So that is how much she's going to mark it up. That would be the profit she would get from one coat. If I'm asking though, how much is she going to charge the customer for the coat? She's not charging the customer $81. So she's going to charge the customer $125 plus $81.25. So the coat would cost $206.25. Right, so that's dealing with some large numbers in percents. Our next example is dealing with smaller numbers in percents, but it's the exact same process. All right, so what should Max charge for a package of paper plates in his store if he bought them for $9 and wants to make 75% profit? Right, so his markup needs to be 75%. Okay, well, 75% divided by 100, that's 0.75. So I'm going to have 0.75 times my $9. And that will be $6.75. Okay, and I want to be making that profit. So don't stop here. That's not your answer. I need to now go 9 plus 6.75. And that will give me 15.75. So that is the price for that package of plates in Max's store. All right, very similar to markup is we have taxes. So taxes are added to the price to arrive at the total price. That's the amount of money you would be charged at the till. So they are calculated as a percentage of the price paid. GST is 5%, and some provinces also charge a provincial sales tax, a PST. You need to know Canadian GST rate is 5%, but if there is a PST, a provincial tax, I will tell you that, and I will tell you how much that tax is. So you don't need to worry about remembering it. You just need to use it if I tell you about it. So what would you have to pay for a jacket that is listed at $99.95? And you live in Alberta, there's only a GST. So GST is 5%. So I have 5%, and I need it as a decimal. So I divide it by 100, and I get 0.05. All right, and now 99.95 times 0.05. It's going to give me a 4.9975. That was the number in the calculator. Let's talk about this number in the calculator. So money only ever goes to the hundredths digit because that is a penny. So I would need to round my 9 here to the nearest penny. So 7 is bigger than 5, so I need to round up. So it is going to, this 9 rounds up, but to a 10, my $4.99 becomes $5. Right, so I would need to pay $99.95 plus $5, which is going to equal $105. Sorry, not 105. $104.95. Okay, what if you live in Saskatchewan where there is a PST of 6% as well? And the GST is 5. So the GST of 5%, we've already calculated that. That's this price here. Right, so the GST, I'm just going to say here, is going to give us $5. That's what we need to pay for GST. We calculated it up top here. Let's do our PST now. So it's going to be 99.95 times 0.06. Which is 5.997. Now again, we have this funny rounding issue. So it's going to end up being $6. And my total cost is this 99.95 plus my PST plus 6 plus $5. And I'm going to be charged a total price of $110.95. So that would be the total price. All right, and this last example combines everything. So this combines the markup and taxes. All right, so the markup on a restaurant meal is 250%. Now this seems high, but this is not an unreasonable number. Restaurant markups are very high, typically. A meal costs $7.25 to produce. How much will the customer be charged after markup and a 5% GST are applied? Okay, so we've got two things to deal with. We have a markup and we have taxes. So we need to do the markup first and then taxes second. If you think about it, the markup is going to be the price that you see on this restaurant menu. Right? And then you take that price and you add the taxes to it. You're not going to be adding taxes on just $7. You're adding taxes on that $7 plus 250% markup. So first the markup. So 250%. I need to divide that by 100, and I'm going to get 2.5. That is 250% as a decimal. So I'm going to need 2.5, oh, not 7, 2.5 times $7.25. So my markup is 18.125, which means my menu price is this 18.125 plus $7.25. And especially with big markups, don't forget to add your original price, right? That the cost to produce, the manufacturing price, always add that piece too. All right, we add them together, and I'm going to get 25.375. Now, at this step here, we could round, right? I should only be going to the hundredth place or to the cent. So it's 25.37, but I need to round up because I've got a 5 next. So to the nearest cent, this meal is going to cost $25.38. And that's going to be the menu price per se. Now I need to add taxes. So I just have a 5% GST. So I need to do my 5% divided by 100, 0.05. So I have 0.05 times this price, my menu price, 25.38. Now, I don't expect you to do this in your head. Use your calculator. That's just fine. That's what it's here for. Right, so I've got $1.269. Now I add them together. 25.38 plus 1.269. And I get 26.649. That is really close. But what should my actual price be? Rounding up because I've got a 9. So this is going to be $26.65. So that would be the cost of the markup and the taxes. This is going to be, you're at the checkout, you're at the till, and you are being told it's going to cost you $26.65. Now, because this is a restaurant, you might be wondering about a tip, and that is very similar. Again, often tips are in percentage based, and something that we're going to talk about a little bit later on, but you certainly could try to find the price with tip now using the skills that we've developed. Otherwise, I've got practice questions for you coming up here. If you're having questions, you're getting stuck, please let me know. Otherwise, it is time for you to do some work.